So now I want to get to the horn wiring to put decent horns on. I'm going to use the same wires that go to the existing horn, but I'm going to use those. I'm going to send those off to a relay because I don't think the horn button and those wires are up to powering a stronger horn. So that'll go up through a relay. I'll see where that sits best, probably in front of the battery. And then I'll take leads directly off the battery to run through the relay and to power the new horns. So to get to the horn wiring into that little area there, I need to take this panel off because the horn wiring's all concealed underneath. So 2 more M5 4mm hex drive anodized aluminium screws. I'm getting very used to these now. So that will come off of there. It makes it easier. This is the voltage regulator and there's a little catch at the back, and then you can take that off, and then this panel drops down and unhooks. A little bit awkward because I've got these fog lights fitted. If I have to, I'd get them off, but there we go, that's that panel. In fact, what I might do is disconnect the indicator and then that panel's completely free. Release catch here. I don't want to hang the whole weight of this panel on that switch, but there we go. So there's that panel off with the indicator. Now you can see this is the wiring for the horn button. So what I might do is unhook that. I'm going to run it all sort of back there along with the other stuff, but I might, it's got these little rubber clip things. See if I can get them out. That's one. That's two. Just awkward to get your finger in to release it, but there we go. That's released. So that now has freed up that one. And that one. And that one. So that's the horn wiring. I'll just pull it. Actually, I'm going to have to get the existing horn off anyway, so these are just good old-fashioned spade connectors. So there you go. So that wiring, and there's another clip here, and then I can run that wire sort of back somewhere here, connect it up to wires to the relay. Unfortunately, I don't think it's quite long enough to go back to the relay, and I don't know that I want to put a relay under here anywhere. It's not really the most accessible for future if I want to get to it. I'm going to have a think about this. So the first thing to do is to take the old horn off. That requires an 8mm spanner or socket. So there we go. I've already disconnected the wiring. These are long bolts. There we go, that's the old horn off. I'll park that bolt there for a minute while I'm getting ready to put the new horn on. So this is the new horn that I'm going to put on the left side. I'm going to use this snail shape curl, have that at the bottom so that rain and rubbish and things doesn't work its way around too much, and I'll tilt it slightly downwards as well. I haven't fully tightened that screw, that nut, and I've used a nylock nut so it won't vibrate and come loose. I've curved the support so that it'll bolt into that bolt forwards there, but then the horn itself will point forwards. So let's have a go at fitting the horn. I'm fitting the horn first before I sort out the wiring, because I need to work out the position and length of all the wiring. Slightly fitted to get in with an 8. Might be easier with a slightly longer socket or a small extension. That's reasonable. I'll tilt it down slightly. Okay, so the terminals at the back there should be fairly easy to get the wire on those ones. Now I'll go around that side, around the other side, and put the other horn up, and then start working out the lengths of wiring to connect the two and connect up to the relay. So let's go on this side. There's the horn. Right, that's those two nice and tight. I can tighten that one slightly down to keep the lane out. So that's the plan for where that'll go and where that'll go. And now I need to do the wiring. I've just made up a couple of leads to plug in here and here and here and here. I'll fit them more neatly in a minute, but that'll be where the power comes from. This is coming off the relay, so this is 17 amp wire, and I think I've made enough that I can now feed that gently through all this, route that through. So that'll do for the power from the relay. I've still got to do the signal to the relay, That's much lower voltage, or lower amperage rather. So we'll get on and do that now. So I've now provisionally fixed the leads to the horns here. I'm going to put a bit of sleeving over this section here to protect it, and then the wiring goes up here, and I'm going to feed it. I've fed it provisionally through, but I'll tidy that up and clip it on and take it all the way through there to the back, to the battery compartment, and then I'll sort out the connections to the relay. And now I've threaded some braided hose or braided sleeve over the wiring so it looks a bit more professional, and I'm about to connect it more definitively now to the right horn. So this earth for the horns is going to join the earth lead here, which is off the battery, and has the optimate. Those are the only things that I want permanently attached to the battery. Right, so that's the earth from the horns. That can all disappear down here now. This is the relay with the fuse from the horns coming off the positive from the battery. So now I need to feed that, which is the positive to the horns. That needs to go into this section, this contact on the relay. I've given myself a little bit more flex than I need, which is always good, but it's getting a little bit congested in here now, so I think might be sensible to try and do a bit of cable management. I think I'll stop that there. I'll route it. I'll hide it under here when it's all sorted. I'm going to just leave the relay there. I don't think I can find anywhere better for it. Okay, so that's the length I need. So here's the relay, and I've used a relay, standard relay fitting rather than individual spade connectors. The red, that's power in from the battery and out to the horn, and I thought I'd just use two different colours because I've got some spare wires of other colours. These are the ones that are going to pick up the leads from the horn button. So at the moment, I haven't cut them quite to length yet. These are the two leads that I pulled off the horns. They come straight from the horn button, so I need to just connect these. Need to route them carefully because it's getting, as I said, there's a bit of spaghetti going on here now. Well, it's an Italian bike, it's okay to have a bit of spaghetti, really. That'll sit there, and I need to put the male spade connectors to plug into that. I may leave this a little bit long so I can push that into that gap in case there's not enough space here for the panel to sit back. So let's get on and solder those now. So here's the two leads that I've now made up that are going to plug in to the supply from the horn button. I put a little bit of heat shrink on the end just to make sure that they don't make any contact that they shouldn't. And now they plug in here. Let's just I don't think it's critical which way they go. So they're plugged in. So in theory, it should all work now. And let's see. Yep, I think that's a much better horn.